Welcome back to Insight into Independence, brought to you by Independence Home Loans. Today, we're joined by Eric Katz, President of Independence Home Loans. Welcome back to Insight, Eric. Thank you so much for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, it's been about 6 months since we last had you on this podcast. What's changed for you since then?
There's a lot that's changed in the last 6 months. We have, continuously grown as a company. We've added new departments. We've added new development teams, added new directors of departments. I mean, it's been a lot.
Absolutely.
So where do you want me to start?
We've had a very strong first half of the year. When you look at quarter one and quarter two, what stands out to you the most about our growth and our momentum?
Yeah, we did just under $1.4 billion in the first half of this year. It's a big number. We've continuously grown year over year from 2024, 25 into 2026. And what stands out to me the most is we've done it just by execution. There hasn't been some big gift in the market. There hasn't been some massive rate drop that I could attribute just increases in volume month over month. It's simply because we're just following the plan that we set out to do, which is grow each and every month and set new records each and every month. And that's what we've been doing.
Right. What do you think the biggest driver is behind that success and that motivation that our team has?
We're a really talented group.
Definitely.
I will say that probably every time I sit here, I don't ever like taking credit for how talented some of these people are. I mean, the architecture of the plan behind the scenes is what my job is, but it just really takes the team showing up to work every single day, ready to go. And they've been executing the plan that we've had. I mean, whether or not we hit every single goal we set out to do in the first 6 months of the year or not, because we've missed a few of them, but we're executing at just a high level every single day. And again, we're not getting any break from the market whatsoever.
Absolutely. Yeah, nobody in the industry is. But I know we've hit a lot of our big goals this year as well. We got licensed in Missouri, I believe.
Missouri, Massachusetts was the most recent one. Yeah.
Yes. So Massachusetts, we opened up an office in Baltimore.
We did.
We opened up our retail division. So we've had a lot of big goals this year that we've hit. Where do you think that's going to take us in the future?
Well, Maryland, obviously, we've had a team for about the last 12 months, kind of earning their stripes out there, and we have some great leadership. So it was very exciting to put brick and mortar out there. I went to go visit it a few weeks ago, and it's just a great group of guys, and they're excited to grow. And so I'm really excited to see what we do out there. And the retail team, I've been hardcore consumer direct for 20 years. I've never really branched out into what I would consider retail or the 1099 model, which is... it's quite popular in many circles in this industry, and it's gotten a lot of steam in the last few years. And if anybody could do anything in this industry, so could we, and hopefully eventually do it better. So it's been great bringing on our first California branch, and we have some brand new additions. Obviously, we just moved over John Moss and Tim DeBona to be branch managers in that division as well, and we have some exciting new people starting August 1st as well that I'll be excited to see those on the socials.
Okay. I'm like, I don't even know. That's a secret for me.
No one knows. But yeah, why not? There's obviously some benefit to it. And if people want to generate their own business and build their own book of business and not rely on us for leads or licensing or any of that, we have a 49 state footprint. Why not offer them the opportunity to do it here?
Definitely. Yeah. And we've expanded so much in just 1 year to across the entire country. So what does that mean for you, like long-term? How important is that national footprint to our long-term success?
Yeah, from a marketing standpoint, it's very important, being able to buy leads and generate leads and help clients in all states except for one. It'll always keep the phones ringing. I don't ever want to limit our people. I don't want them to get a referral from somebody in Massachusetts or, Illinois and me say, hey, I'm sorry, we can't do that. We can offer, loans in all states, but also about name brand recognition. We've continuously grown our name nationally. If you're in the mortgage space and you haven't heard of us, I'd be shocked. And then the next evolution is some of the large scale partnerships that we're doing to grow our presence, in people's homes. Why not? Why not us at that point?
Right. So it's a combination of visibility on the national scale and then also availability with the states that we're licensed in.
Yeah, there's no reason that a homeowner shouldn't know who Independence Home Loan is.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Why not? Well, looking back at the first half of the year, what are 1 or 2 big moves you're most proud of that people maybe don't see day to day?
I don't know if it's necessarily see every day or really account for it every day, but in the last even 4 or 5 months, we've brought on, 4 brand new department heads to help, move our organization in the right direction. And, this company has always been direct word of mouth referrals since we started. So to bring in 4 key players that I've never had the pleasure of managing before, even working with, and to see the impact they've had in compliance and tech, onboarding, accounting, secondary. It's massive. It's a really big reason why we're able to move and scale at the pace we are. And then obviously, we have a brand new hire development team that I know we've put a lot of attention on, but there is so much that goes into that behind the scenes, from a recruiting standpoint to a retention, from a lead spend, and then to an execution. I'm really, really proud to see what the Ignite program has obviously started to bear fruit very recently, and I expect it to just continuously be a massive part of what we do.
Absolutely. Yeah. What inspired you to create the Ignite program?
I went from valet parking cars in Chicago to mortgages. So if I wasn't given an opportunity 20 years ago, my life would look different. Thousands of people I've been fortunate enough to manage over the last 15 to 20 years, their lives would have been different. So I think that until you really are given a shot in this space, you don't really understand how it can change your life in so many different ways. So I'm just very passionate about doing that. I wanted to find the next Eric Katz, the next Barry Baum, just the next absolute killer out there that didn't even know they were meant to do mortgages for a living. And then they just took to it second nature and it changed their life. That's my biggest driver.
For sure. And I think that that success is very easy to see because in our last month in June, somebody in the top 10 was from the Ignite program, which is awesome to see, I'm sure.
Yeah, just watching a 19-year-old that has absolutely no experience do like $3.5 million in their second month on the phone was great. And then we had another kid in our top 15 do over $3 million as well. I just love this industry. I love this job. I love the sale. I love the people. I love the numbers of it. And I think there's a lot of like-minded people out there too that were just absolutely born to sell. They just need to be given direction and they need to be given an opportunity. And who better to learn from than us?
Right. And the team of leaders behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of learning, for you, have you learned any lessons since creating Ignite?
Yeah. We basically started like a sub company within our company, and we did it very, very fast. So from a business owner standpoint, taking on the expense and the exposure and the responsibility of a class of 75 down to 50 after they pass SAFE, down to 40 after they pass Mortgage 101, they still need to be given the same opportunity as everyone else. And at the very beginning, I expected 2 people to just kind of handle all of that by themselves. And we realized, well, that doesn't really work. And then we have an entire team of people over there, with 7 different ISDs and department managers and oversight. So we learned a lot as we went. But yeah, it's not cheap to do it. We bring in these kids, we get them licensed up, we teach them to pass SAFE, we pay for their state licenses just like any executive LOs, and then they're on the phone and they're getting the same quality leads as my executive LOs do. We don't just want to buy cheap data and expect these kids to sit on a dialer for 8 hours a day. And while that business model might work for some, that's not what we promised. We promised them high quality inbound phone calls, and that's exactly what they've been given. And some of them have it and some do not. And we've learned a lot from that. The kids that could fund $3 million in their first month, they have it. And the ones that couldn't fund 1 or 2 loans after 2 or 3 months, they just didn't. This model just wasn't for them, and that's okay. But at least we gave them a shot to be successful. But yeah, our model isn't for everyone. I learned that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you meet someone that's young and ambitious, that's hungry, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate into the results that they wanted and that we expected.
Right. But you can only teach somebody as much as they're willing to learn. And I think that's definitely apparent on the floor. And it's with the people that have come from Ignite, the ones that want to be in that program, you can see it. You can't fake that kind of enthusiasm.
No, there's a buzz. And it's a buzz because they know that they're maybe 1 or 2 or 3 months away from achieving potential financial freedom that they never thought possible. It's promise I make to them as everyone else. It's like your skill set and your work ethic will match your commission check here. And we've already seen it. This newest class, there's like 8 to 10 of them that are projected to do over $2 million this month. And it's exciting to see. I'm very interested to see how it pans out. But our Ignite team did over $35 million in June, which would make it technically our third largest team at the entire company. And it's just a bunch of people that had no mortgage experience whatsoever that a few months later on the phone. So it's exciting. It doesn't take away from our passion to continuously attract and retain top talent at all. But yeah, all of us got our start in this industry somewhere, whether it was selling, cell phones or at a mall or going door to door. We all got our start somewhere. And so that's where my passion lies. I just want to give people a shot.
For sure. Where do you see Ignite heading in the next year?
Yeah, Ignite in terms of filling our consumer direct sales floor is going to be a massive part of it, if not the largest, to be honest with you. We have unbelievably talented executive LOs here, and they know it. And we feed our best, the best that we can. Their phones are ringing nonstop all day, every day. We pair our best with our best operations staff. So what we're doing with Ignite will never take away from our passion to consistently keep feeding our top talent, right? But in terms of scalability, we have such an amazing recruiting team and a development management staff that every 60 days we can have a brand new class of 35 or 45 people ready to learn how to pass safe. We have a wonderful new trainer that teaches them how to do that at an unbelievably high percentage. And so it's going to continuously help scale and grow our company immensely for years to come. It's not going anywhere.
Definitely. Fair enough. Well, from your perspective, what are you seeing in today's market, in today's mortgage market, that others might be overlooking?
There is a very large separation between the best in the industry and everyone else, in my opinion. I see it here. I see it at a lot of other companies where a lot of my very good friends and former employees run the shows there. And that top 1%, they're the top 1% for a reason. They're just really that good. And they separate themselves as the guys doing 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, $6 million every single month. And they don't have special leads. They don't have better pricing. They're just better and they work harder. And what I'm seeing, unfortunately, is a lot of people maybe expected this year to be easier. Maybe they expected some big rate drop and it didn't happen. And so people are having to work really, really hard to continuously be successful. And for some people, that's as easy as breathing. And for others, it's not. They expected the landscape of the year to look different. And so instead of looking internally at why maybe they're not as successful as they should be, which is themselves, you start seeing finger pointing. I wish my manager did this. I wish the leads came in like this. I wish my pricing looked like this. Why isn't this like this? And when you start getting into that mental head game, it's kind of hard to break out of it. It really is, because you start blaming everyone else but yourself for why you're not being successful. It is true that this model necessarily isn't for everyone. Usually exposes the softer salespeople. It just really does. And I mean that in a good way. I say it at every sales huddle, you have it or you don't. It's our job to teach you, but our A players are thriving and they're shining and they're happy and they're crushing it. We have like 40 or 50 LOs every month that do over $2 million. We don't just have 5. We don't just have 6. We're not just posting our STPs online. We're posting our real funding numbers, and it's because our company as a whole is crushing it. It's not just a handful of people. But yeah, my advice to anybody in this industry right now is just stay the course. You have to be willing to do the little things, and you have to be willing to do them every day. You have to take your calls. You have to sell a certain way. You have to follow up with your clients. You have to push your pipeline. You have to be engaged. You can't kind of take things for granted and be as successful as you want to be in 2026, in my opinion. And it's the people that really get it. They understand the dynamic. They understand the client we're talking to. They're going to continuously just excel. And it's those that have a bad month or two and just give up mentally. I see that as well. And it's unfortunate. I think some people make too many moves too fast. I see it when we interview people here. First question I ask is, why would you have 7 mortgage companies on your resume in 4 years? Like, what were you hoping to achieve at this company that they didn't, that they didn't deliver on? Because when people show you who they are, I listen. And if somebody has 6 or 7 or 8 jobs on the resume in the last few years,
it's concerning.
It's concerning. I've had 3 jobs in 20 years. So maybe I'm a little unique in that regard, but almost all of my top guys here, they've only had 1 or 2 jobs in the last 7 or 10 years as well. and I can assure you they're doing okay.
Yeah, but that's how you grow though. You build those relationships and you take time to learn the people you work with and not just leave when it gets hard or when the market gets tough. It's like what you were saying, like a hard salesperson, somebody who wants to be in that industry for the long haul.
Yeah, I've probably said this 100 times in 20 years, but I mean it. I like to make decisions in people. I'm very blessed. I have a wonderful staff that works here, and I love it. But they also know I have their back, and I don't just have their back when I give them a sign-on bonus or I offer them X amount of bips for their first 90 days. I have their back in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years from now. And I think anyone that's worked for me can attest to that our passion for their success doesn't waver just because they have 1 or 2 bad months. And that's usually what I tell people. I'm like, make decisions in people. Like comp is great. Our comp plan here is almost unmatched, but there's a room full of people here that are going to care about their success through good times and bad for years to come. I mean, that's why I've been fortunate enough to have people that have worked for me for 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, 13 years that I just met randomly. You don't just get that type of loyalty just because you pay well.
Right.
You get it because they know that like you have their back. So that would always be my advice is, remember what got you excited about starting your job when you came over here, and don't let a bad month or two waver from that. And just always remember at the end of the day, it'd be hard pressed to find anyone in this industry like myself or some of my key leaders that actually will care about your long-term success, because like I go to sleep thinking about this. I wake up thinking about this place. I mean, it's literally an obsession and I love it. But I think that's also a big reason of why everyone else here cares so much, is they know I do too.
Yeah, it trickles down for sure.
I don't know what it's like to not be on my phone working. One day I'll figure that out. But yeah, I just love the industry as a whole.
Amazing. Well, what's your outlook for the rest of the year? Like, what should our team be prepared for in Q3 and Q4?
Well, they should be excited. Q3 is historically our biggest quarter every year. I don't know why, but there's just something about July, August, September, October where like everyone gets amped up. We have our big semi-annual party. We're announcing our Champions Club trip for next year, which always gets people excited. But July, it's supposed to be our biggest month all year. So once again, rates just keep getting worse and worse and worse, and we just keep doing better. So our team should be ready to have an explosive next few months, because we're going to be very busy. I'm not just going to sit here and try to be stagnant. That's never my goal. I always want to grow a little bit each month. But a step further from that, I mean, we have some real specific data, like for the first time, honestly, like ever in my career, where I've had data broken down by lead type and state and conversion. I mean, it's crazy how meticulous this data is now that I have. And it really will help us continuously target the highest converting states, higher converting lead sources. It's kind of been a big thing of mine with my key guys. I was like, hey, like you guys are going to figure this stuff out. I want this data given to me. And we actually have the team and the bandwidth now that can provide it. So just to know that every dollar I spend from a marketing standpoint is going to be maximized, and it's to give us a higher filtered lead. Our sales team should be excited. I mean, I see posts online sometimes of, hey, we had 50 live calls today, or we had 150 live calls today. Well, we have over 2,000 every day, 2,000 a day, and they're highly filtered. And they'd be converting at like 8 to 12% from lead to application lately. And that number specifically is only going to get better and better. So I just want our team to stay hungry and be excited, because we're going to have a killer next few months.
Absolutely. Well, you've been in the industry for a long time. Outside of the data aspect, what still excites you about the industry?
I mean, a lot. I just love all of it. I love that there's a puzzle to be figured out, whether it's with one loan, whether it's with running this entire company. Every day I'm lucky I get to obviously touch every single department that we have, and there's usually a problem or something we got to figure out every day. But there's just some really happy people that come to work every day. And some of them I've only gotten to manage for a very short time. So honestly, what keeps me as hungry and as motivated as I am is just to see the absolute like joy some of these guys have. Like, dude, I just had my biggest month ever. I just had the biggest paycheck I've ever had. This person on my team that I'm managing just had their biggest month ever. So to see all the hard work pay off, it will always get me excited. I mean, I love getting random texts or team messages just being like, dude, like, I could not be happier. I love working here. I see people making, new best friends, new little groups at the office every day. I love all of it. I love people wearing our IHL gear every day because they're actually proud to do it, not just because they're comfy and they're awesome.
Right.
But yeah, for me personally, it's really like reliving that person's like kind of first like wow moment, whether it's a funding number, a paycheck, a promotion. That does it for me for sure.
Definitely. It changes lives, I would say, this place.
Yeah, it changes mine too. I mean, it's changed a lot. I mean, there's 400 and something people that come to work here every day because they love it and they want to be a part of something that's, bigger than themselves. That's a nationally growing company in the making. I mean, it's exciting.
For sure. Well, as we head into the second half of the year, if you could say one thing to those 400 plus people, what would it be?
Don't suck. First of all, no, I'm just kidding. Just stay hungry, stay motivated. You can't control what the market does. You just can't. It's got no consequence to your job anyways. My salespeople, you're fortunate. You guys get to come into work every day and the phones are ringing. Come into work with a fresh mindset, pick up the phone and book some deals and get after it. And then to everyone in fulfillment, I promise you our sales staff is going to stay hungry. They're not going anywhere. We're going to continuously grow and scale our team and everyone else is going to be busy. We're not going to have a slowdown. So yeah, just stay hungry and enjoy it. This is supposed to be fun. Right. I mean, the work's monotonous, but I mean,
it's rewarding.
It's rewarding, but it's, we get to have a good time. I mean, talent shows and, Vegas style pool parties for fun in the middle of July. I mean, not everyone gets to do that. So that would be my advice to the team is stay the course, remember why we're here. Remember what we're doing and, just execute.
Definitely. Okay. Well, thank you again. We're going to have you back on another 6 months.
Yes.
And talk about Q3 and Q4.
Exciting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're ready to start your career with Independence Home Loans, email us at talentacquisition@independencehl.com. See you in the next one.